EVs are unsafe. GM CEO Mary Barra just went against EVs. General Motors is facing a billion-dollar EV loss, and a horrible EV reliability report just got leaked, making things even worse. EVs are deadly and highly impractical, and this is not something I'm saying. This is what over 4,000 dealers said to Joe Biden when they sent a letter brutally warning him to stop the forced EV push. But why did Mary Barra stop EV production? Are EVs a scam? In this video, I'm going to uncover how bad the situation at General Motors is, and how their own CEO Mary Barra might be the reason behind it. So, here's the deal. A recent report from Consumer Reports has dropped a truth bomb about EVs, and it's not looking good for GM and its CEO Mary Barra. This report isn't just a small hiccup, it's a full-on alarm bell exposing not one, not two, but 4 major flaws in EVs. And you know what? This is bad news for everyone wanting to buy an EV. Let's start with the big picture. EVs have been all the rage, pushed by political leaders and automakers as the future of transportation. But behind the eco-friendly face and silent engines, there's trouble brewing. The new report has revealed that EVs have a whopping 80% more problems than their gas-powered counterparts. Yep, you heard that right. 80%. Meanwhile, regular hybrids are cruising down with 25% fewer issues than gas cars. Now, let's zoom in on GM, led by Mary Barra. Their EV sales are in free fall, a 24% plunge from the first to the second quarter of 2023. This drop is happening while Tesla is flying high, selling EVs like hotcakes. GM's EV sales? A mere 2.3% of their total sales. Compared to the national EV market share of over 7%, GM is lagging big time. Adding salt to the wound, the Biden administration's new EV mandate is putting pressure on automakers like GM. Failure to meet sales targets could mean hefty fines. And while Tesla and BYD racing towards selling 2 million EVs each this year, GM's situation is looking pretty bleak. Now, here's a head scratcher. Mary Barra is hell-bent on not lowering EV prices despite seeing losses. She believes that EVs in the $30,000 and $40,000 range aren't profitable. Instead, she wants to focus on premium cars, trying to turn GM into a luxury car maker. But guess what? This strategy is backfiring. No one's buying GM's EVs, leading to production stoppage and job cuts. It's a mess, and the middle class is feeling the pinch. Let's dive into the 4 major flaws highlighted by the report. First up, we have the high repair costs involved with EVs that no one is telling you about. Let me tell you about a few cases where this issue popped up. A Hyundai Ioniq 5 owner in Canada faced an outrageous quote of $60,000 for a battery replacement following minor damage. This price tag was almost as much as the car's original price. How did he get here, you ask? The vehicle's underbody protecting the high-voltage battery got scratched. The technicians labeled the battery as unrepairable, and the insurance company, upon being involved, was quoted a price that was more than double the initial estimate. But wait, there's more. This isn't a one-off incident. Another Ioniq 5 owner shared a similar tale of woe. Their car ran over a muffler, causing minor damage, but the repair cost? A staggering $60,000. These figures are mind-boggling and highlight a grave design flaw. It's like walking on eggshells with these cars. One small mistake and you're staring down the barrel of a financial catastrophe. The situation is reminiscent of the early Tesla Model S models, which faced similar issues until Tesla stepped up with a robust solution in 2014. They introduced a titanium underbody shield and aluminum deflector panels to protect the battery. Hyundai, it seems, has yet to catch up with this kind of proactive problem solving. Now, let's turn our attention to another story, equally shocking and dripping with drama. An Ontario man just out of warranty with his EV was slapped with a $50,000 quote for a battery replacement. His EV had clocked over 70,000 miles, just stepping outside the warranty cover. Next issue is the glaring fire risk EVs are posing. EVs, when exposed to salt water, are prone to catch fire. It's not just an isolated case, but a disturbing trend. Here's the science bit. EVs run on lithium-ion batteries packed with energy. When salt water gets in, it creates conductive bridges, leading to short circuits and a rapid rise in temperature. In simple terms, your EV turns into a fiery beast on wheels, and salt water is the catalyst. Jennifer Rotolo's story is a heart-wrenching one. In Nocatee, Florida, her loaner Mercedes-Benz EQ E350 Plus parked in her garage spontaneously combusted, leading to a potential total loss of her home. And in Wareham, Massachusetts, an EV caught fire in a driveway, requiring over 3 hours and thousands of gallons of water to extinguish. Even more alarming, in Phoenix, a Waymo car that caught fire had to be buried to stop it from reigniting. These aren't mere accidents, they are a stark reminder of the lurking danger in our driveways. Third major issue is a charging issue. In many areas, especially rural or less populated regions, charging stations are as rare as a four-leaf clover. This scarcity makes long trips a bit of a gamble. Imagine planning a road trip and having to map out your journey based on where you might find a charger. Not exactly the spontaneous adventure you might have envisioned. Even if you find a charging station, there's the issue of how long it can take to charge an EV. If you're using a standard level 2 charger, the kind you typically install at home, it can take several hours to fully charge a depleted battery. Sure, there are faster chargers out there like DC fast chargers, but they're not as widespread and can still take up to 30 minutes to give you a significant charge. This is a far cry from the 5-minute fill-up at your local gas station. And let's say you found a charging station and you've got time to spare, but what if the charger is out of service? Or worse, it's slower than watching paint dry. The reliability of charging stations is a big concern. Over 40% of the chargers are working and rest are either malfunctioning or always too crowded. Then the last issue is the high price. The sticker shock on new EVs can be quite startling. Even with government incentives and tax credits, EVs generally cost more upfront than their gasoline counterparts. This is mainly due to the cost of batteries, which are the most expensive part of an EV. Would you be willing to pay $60,000 for a car with such an unreliable network right now? But it's not just GM feeling the heat. Volkswagen is cutting back on EV production due to customer reluctance, and Toyota's EV sales are barely a blip on the radar. So, what's the big takeaway from the report? EVs are going through some serious growing pains. They're plagued with battery issues, charging problems, and build quality concerns. It's like everyone rushed to jump on the EV bandwagon only to find out it's not as smooth a ride as they thought. And let's not forget the economic backdrop. With higher interest rates and economic uncertainties, big purchases like cars are taking a hit, especially pricey EVs. So, where does this leave Mary Barra and GM? They're pumping the brakes on EV production, pushing back manufacturing targets to 2025 to save $1.5 billion. Upcoming models like the Equinox EV and Silverado EV are now delayed. And to top it all off, labor strikes at GM have cost them $800 million this year. The EV market is a tough nut to crack. The allure of new EVs is competing with practical consideration and the growing used EV market. Automakers are churning out new models, but adapting to EVs is proving to be slower and more complicated than expected. Jake Fisher from Consumer Reports labeled these issues as growing pains for EVs. The survey, based on data from over 330,000 vehicles, highlights complaints about battery and charging systems as well as fit and finish issues. The big question now is, are EVs worth the trouble? With high costs, reliability concerns, and a lack of convenient charging options, it's a gamble. What do you think? Is Mary Barra taking the right decision for General Motors? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel.